The battlefield burned in shades of violet and gold. Shattered hulls of warships hung frozen in orbit like broken crowns, their lights fading one by one into the endless dark. Karte HFY stood among the wreckage, her armor cracked and blood seeping from between its plates. Her people, the Dravari, were a warrior race bred for conquest. For 7 centuries, they had fought the long war against all that resisted the Dominion. And now, she was their last commander standing. Her 4 hearts still pounded with battle fire. Around her, the field smoked with bodies, Dravari and human alike. She had seen many species rise and fall beneath her blade. Yet when she looked upon the figure approaching through the haze, she felt something unfamiliar. Fear. The human walked without armor, carrying only a jagged blade torn from a Dravari cruiser's plating. His face was smeared with ash, his eyes cold and alive at once. The veins in his forearms glowed faintly with a blue fire of exposure to her people's weapons. He should have been dead hours ago. But he wasn't. Stay back, Karte HFY hissed in her native tongue, her mandibles flaring wide. You've already lost. The human tilted his head, squinting at her as if studying a strange animal. Lost. His voice was hoarse but steady. Then why are you the one bleeding? She raised her plasma lance. Because you humans never know when to die. He grinned faintly. We're bad at that. With a roar that cracked the silence, she lunged. The lance swept forward, blue energy flaring, only for the human to duck under it, sliding on the ash-slick ground. He rose behind her, striking with the jagged metal shard. The blow glanced off her shoulder plate, sparks flying. She turned, faster than a blink, backhanding him with enough force to send him sprawling. He coughed blood and laughed, actually laughed, as he staggered upright again. You think this is funny? She demanded. I think, he spat red into the dust. You hit like a truck. No one mocked Karte HFY and lived. Yet instead of rage, she felt something sharper, more dangerous. Curiosity. Humans were supposed to be fragile things, nervous systems too slow, bones too weak. But this one fought with the fury of a dying sun. Every motion was raw willpower, not instinct. Who are you? She asked. Lieutenant Jalen Reeves. 42nd Orbital Infantry. Guess I'm all that's left. All that's left, she echoed softly. The words stung. Because she was the same. They circled each other among the wrecks. Neither spoke for a long while. Sparks from burning ships rained around them like dying stars. Finally, Jalen said quietly, Why keep fighting? Your fleet's gone. And yours. He smiled bitterly. Same. Then why? She pressed. He met her gaze. Because somebody has to remember what we stood for. That silenced her. The Dravari fought for dominance, for blood and glory. But never for memory. Her grip on the lance faltered. Your species, you're reckless. Irrational. You fight even when it's hopeless. That's what makes it fun. She studied him, antennae twitching. No Dravari would throw away their life for a lost cause. He shrugged. Guess that's why we scare you. Karte HFY hissed, but she didn't strike. Something inside her armor shifted, an ache near her chest. A tiny shard of her mask had cracked earlier, exposing her face to the air. Now, she realized it was letting her feel the cold, the heat, the scent of ozone, the iron of blood. Things she'd long ignored as distractions. The human Jalen was watching her carefully, not like prey or predator. Like someone trying to understand. You're hurt, he said. I've survived worse. Then let me help. She barked a laugh. Help? You're my enemy. He lowered his weapon. Maybe, but you're still bleeding. For a long moment, The only sound was the crackle of fire. When she didn't answer, he took a cautious step closer. Then another. He tore a strip of fabric from his uniform, ignoring the blood on his own ribs, and extended it toward her. She could have killed him then, one swing, one shot, but she didn't. Instead, she let him press the makeshift bandage to the wound at her side. His hand trembled slightly, but not from fear. From exhaustion. Karte stared at the human hand against her alien skin. Pale, fragile, trembling, and yet steady. "You're strange, Jalen Reeves. Been told that before." He smiled faintly, and for the first time, she found herself returning it. By nightfall, the fires dimmed. The two of them sat among the wrecks, sharing silence. Karte finally spoke. "Why did your people come here? You knew this was Dravari territory." "We didn't come to conquer," Jalen said softly. "We came because you attacked the colony at Eos Prime. My sister was there." Karate's eyes flickered. "Then your vengeance is complete. I led that strike." He didn't move. Didn't even look at her. "I thought killing you would make it better. And now..." He looked up at the stars. "Now I just want it to end." The words sank into her like a blade. For the first time in centuries, Karte didn't feel like a general. She felt like a person. "Your sister," she began hesitantly. "Would she have wanted more war?" "No," he said. "She was a doctor." A long pause. "I killed her kind," Karte said. "And you saved mine." He looked at her. "Maybe that's a start." When the rescue ships came, they were not Dravari nor human. They were scavengers, gathering survivors from both sides. Karte and Jalen stood together as the searchlights swept over the field. "If they find you," she warned, "they'll kill you. Humans are worth a bounty alive." He smirked. "Guess I'll need a good disguise." She glanced down at her shattered armor, then back at him. "I could take you as my prisoner. Say you belong to me." He raised an eyebrow. "That's supposed to make me feel better?" "Only if you like breathing." He laughed quietly. "You're not like the others, Karte. And you," she said, "are nothing like any warrior I've ever met." The searchlights neared. Without another word, she gripped his wrist and dragged him toward the wreckage of a shuttle. When the scavengers arrived, she stood tall and declared in her native tongue, "This one is mine. Spoils of war." The scavenger leader eyed Jalen suspiciously. "A human? Dangerous." "I like dangerous," Karte said flatly. The scavenger shrugged. "Then his life is yours." And so the human lived, under the protection of the enemy who had once sworn to kill him. Weeks passed aboard the scavenger vessel. Jalen and Karte shared a cramped hold, fixing engines and rationing food. Slowly, hostility turned into uneasy trust, and trust into something gentler.